Okay, welcome back to part 3. My phone wants to do something stupid. It's kind of sticking on me. So let's go back and cover some of these mistakes that were made and correct them. Now, first of all, when I did this, I said this was kind of stagnant because it's really hard to do somebody standing on a level platform with his feet level and shoulders level, because the first thing you need to do to draw something is see it. So let's just say here are your eyes. You're looking at something. You're looking at it over here. So you're looking at this pole, right? So you're looking at it. Your eye level is right here. Here's your head. Here's you. You're looking at this thing. You cannot see the top of this pole. You cannot see the bottom of this pole. So when you shift your eyes, if your eyes are right here, the top of this pole is going to be like this because you can't see. It's not going to be flat. It's going to be curved, and the bottom is going to be like this. So this pole is going to look like that. So if you look at a piece of board or something, and you're looking at it from the middle, same thing. Here's your head. And you turn it to the side. If you're in the front of it, but when you're in the side of it, it's going to go like this. And that's going to be the same thing with the figure. So it's like you cannot have a board going to the side like that once you turn it and see the sides of it. It's going to be like that. So this is why this one looks kind of stagnant. And my camera is scaring me because it's like 5 minutes, like a few seconds behind what I do. So I'm going to stop it and restart it. Okay, that's better. I'm looking in the monitor and I wave my hand across it and it's not going across it a few seconds later, and then it is sticking. So let's go with this profile, and it's doing it again, but hopefully it is recording. Let's go with this. Now I want to fix my mistakes. First of all, I want to make this bigger. This lines up, it goes straight. I had it going down a little bit. It's a little bigger. The chest comes, or the chest goes to the front of this. I have it out like this. It goes to the front like that. This was a rush job. So it was overwhelming me to try to do all of them at one time. And of course the neck, that little this little dip right here. The neck comes right out from there. So it's going to be here, so the neck is going to come out like that. That's why that head was bugging me. Something was looking kind of off, but my brain was trying to get all of them at the same time. And yeah. And then of course this, we're going to pull this back a little bit more. This is not going to come out that far. So we're going to do this and this like that, because you still have to have room for the love handles or the obliques like that. Well, actually it comes all the way out. There's not that much room. And then so you get this little black area right here where the two kind of come together. So if you have something that comes up like this and you have something that comes down like that, you're going to have this little dark area, because then you have your interior for your stomach. That gives you that dark area. The same thing with these come up, these muscles come up and curve. They're little boxes. If you put like boxes together for the abs, you have this little darkness in between each one of them, especially at the edges. These are the edges. You'll have this little kind of like half triangle here. So that's why you would see something, these little dark edges on abs. And understand this is quick ink. This is quick ink. I don't know, my inking skills are dying for some reason. All right. And I brought this down. Let's go to the feet. I brought this down, and the foot comes out. Basically, it's like half a triangle. As in, here's your whole triangle. Split that off. There's your foot. Just bring it out a little bit more. And if you choose, and you don't want to make it flat, you give it a little arch. The heel curves around and goes out and in. Don't make your feet too small. And then, of course, you have your calf muscle like this, and it would go down. I don't really do a lot of muscles in legs because a lot of times legs are covered up. Bring this out a little bit more. Here's my knee, like this, and then there is that one muscle that comes around and up, but I don't do that. There's a bunch of other muscles in the leg, but realistically, I haven't even studied them. I just know the front. So, as I say, usually it covers up either there's pants, there's some kind of, for me, in my art, I always had like some kind of strap, either pants or there was a cape covering it, or people just don't stand to the side profile, a side view in a lot of drawings that I did. So I never really had to study it. I can do it. I'd have to do a little more research on it, but yeah, there are certain things, like you rarely ever have to draw a face that's like so up in the air, like he's looking up. So that would be like something that might be a little difficult for you to do because you never really did it, because you had no call for drawing a head at that kind of angle until the time comes when you say, oh, I have to draw a head this angle. Let me find some reference material so I can learn how to draw that head. So yeah, for me, I really never had to draw muscles in the legs from the side, and I tend not to do it anyway. So forgive me for that. If you were somebody who wanted muscles in the side leg, next video. So we have your abs and then your hands. And yeah, my voice is kind of like, somebody's like, why is he crying? He sounds like he's crying. That's just my voice. That's why I'm not a singer. I'm an artist. And I have not had anything to eat yet or to drink. I had a sip of water, but my voice is not smooth yet. I'll get there later. I just jumped out of bed and said, let me finish this because I'm dedicated that way. All right, now I can't see this hand because of the glare, and I want to turn on my side light, but that would kill your view. So we have this part right here, which is this coming down. It's got a little curve to it. So each finger is going to curve as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4, because they are at an angle. If you look at that, they are at an angle. And then, as I said, my camera is like 2-3 seconds behind me, and it's locking up. So then you have the other fingers as well at an angle, which this is going to be the longest one, and the others are going to come down as well. So as long as you have that angle, you're good. In the bends of the fingers. Finish the sentence. So as long as you have that, and then you have these little ones here that nobody really ever draws unless you have to draw a close-up of a hand. So just draw that line like that with the bend angles, and then draw your fingers. They could be together or separated, however. And then I will bring the other ones. I don't have them going out. Don't have them going like straight out. Bend them in just a little bit, because when you relax your hands, your fingers will bend in a little. Nobody relaxes like that when you relax your hands. Come on, camera, do right. They bend in a little bit just because, you're relaxing them. One, two, three. Yeah, what is it doing? I'm telling you, I have a very bad glare from, that might be a little too long. I have a very bad glare coming from my light. And I was going to tell you what kind of light it is, but sometimes when I'm drawing and trying to think at the same time, it just doesn't work. It's fluorescent light. I screwed up that hand, didn't you? Yes, I did. So that's done. Let's bring that chest to a little better position. Bring it down a little bit. I was going to say something about drawing several times, but I forgot what that was. And then this is gonna come around like this back here. And usually there's 5 of those bad boys, and it takes on a weird shape. Because after that, your lats start. Your lats are like right here, the wide part, and then you have this, and then sometimes if you want to get crazy muscular, you just add some more, but I don't usually do that. And I think it's just, you only see 5 ribs. And once you turn the body, it takes on a different kind of turn. So let's ink this and then move on to the next. No, let's not ink this and move on to we'll ink that at the end as a speed thing. So 3/4 view, that would be the same way as I said with this. It should be more of a perspective, put the thing in line. Should be more of a perspective kind of shot. So we're gonna do this other arm here. Maybe shrink it a little bit. I'll bring it down. And I'm pausing because I don't want it to really go through that line, so I'm going to bring it over. Just because. Bicep, tricep, which comes down a little bit more, which actually should have been angled. I'm drawing it right, but I'm forcing myself to put it on the line. It was something else I was fighting myself with, and I really didn't know why it wasn't getting on the line. It was because it wasn't supposed to fall on these same lines. It's supposed to be at an angle. So again, we have the that U right there, and just put a little line into it because it's 2 separate muscles. And then you see part of the bicep. It's going to come down. Bicep. The elbow is going to be down here. I just usually do like a little triangle. And there's that bone. And then you have this part coming out and this part coming around, and then the hand. Again with that little square. Off-centered square. Off-centered square. And curve like that. On the inside, it's going to be again with that square. And you have the palm, the small one, and then you have the large one here, which connects to the thumb. It's going to be out somewhere here. And then you have your fingers. Remember that bend, that angle, and then the rest bend as well. That might have been really quick. I'm going to have to do another video on hands. And what was it? I had a subscriber, I hope you were a subscriber, was saying that they liked this series because it was like I was summing up everything that I had been drawing for years into one. And basically, it's because YouTube will only allow me to have so many videos up on my channel. So a number of them have gotten taken off the channel. It's still floating around on the internet somewhere, but it's like if you go to my channel, you won't be able to see a lot of them. So I said, okay, those were good teachings. So let me start really getting into teaching those again. So we have this here, which again, this should have been, oh, this should have been like this. It should have been like this. And my, what is that called? It's kind of forcing me to do it that way. I'll think of the word in a second. let me just keep drawing. And I brought that ankle down a little bit more, and this one is going to be, kind of goes in and then out. This is the knee. Muscle memory, that's what I'm trying to say, muscle memory. And muscle memory is just your muscles remembering how to do something. Like if I say draw the letter M, and then tell you to draw the letter B, and then draw number 5, you have done that since you were a child. So of course you're going to know how to do it. And that's the same thing with drawing. If you keep drawing something over and over again, your muscles will memorize how your hand goes about doing the lines. That's just the same way as if you pick up your pencil. I don't draw like this. I can't draw like that. I've seen some people draw, hold pencils in strange different ways. I hold the pencil the same way. This is how I hold my pencil. And that's because my hand memorized the way that I hold the pencil to draw. I cannot draw with my left hand. I can, but I can't. But see, this is how I would hold a pencil with my left hand. Maybe, I guess, I'm not sure, because I don't do it because my muscles are not used to drawing with my left hand or holding a pencil with my left hand. So of course, stuff is not going to come out right for me. And then I'm going to get frustrated. And that's what happens to a lot of people that have tried some of my drawings. They'll get frustrated and they'll say, oh, you suck. Your drawing suck. You're a terrible teacher. Yeah, I've had people say that on the comments. But it's not that the teaching is not bad, good. It's the fact that you haven't done enough drawing to be able to pick up a pencil and then in one shot make your picture look like my picture. So when you draw something, and I said this before, when you draw something, draw it like 3 times straight. Like if I draw an arm or a hand or whatever, draw it 3 times right off the bat. Draw it, just draw it, finish it, draw another one, finish it, draw another one, finish it. 5 times is perfect. But once you keep doing that, you will memorize how it's done. So let's get on with these heels and these feet. Again, it should be the other way, but I'm forcing myself to draw it to where it sits on that line. And again, it's kind of like taking that triangle, that half triangle, and turning it around. See, he looks like he's going to tip over if I don't twist his feet, but I'm going to force myself. I either have to move that camera up or I have to move my paper down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I adjusted my camera. Give him a little more calf. A little more calf. Now, calf muscles are what's the word? Prominent muscles. So sometimes I will indicate that they are there. This one, since this is back, the knee is going to come in, and then there's going to be some calf here. So the calf splits down the center. I'll do it better on this guy. And then the inside is lower than the outside. Inside is lower than the outside. Boy, that's some jacked up calves, Brian. Because the center of that line, the center of this leg is going to be right here. Something you have to do sometimes, draw that center line so you won't get lost. I usually put the 2 lines here in the back of the leg to indicate the where it bends. And of course, the back of the leg, there's a muscle that goes right down the center and then it branches off. There's a bunch of muscles really, but the main ones are like, goes down the center and branches off, which I never really draw, but just for the sake of this video, I will keep that in there. The buttocks comes around. As I say, it goes down. It kind of like, there's that little dimple somewhere in here. So it comes around. I'm trying to like kind of and into that little dimple area. Same thing with the other one. It comes around, but we're not, trying to worry about the butt muscles. We're just trying to get that shape. Of course, the hands, small finger, next finger, that, and then maybe this finger here without seeing thumb, palm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I cannot see that. Forgive me for this. 1, 3, 4. All right. This comes off that hand, and then the thumb starts. There's a muscle that comes around like this from here because it comes up in between the 2. Bicep and tricep comes around, and then you have some striations here. Same thing, but this is on the outside. A little muscle there. The back, you don't want to have it jumping way out. It's in. It does come out, but it does, but it doesn't. In and out, because everything comes out from that back like this. So you want to make sure it is have that line to where it looks like it's in. Did I do it my shoulder blade? As I said, it is early for me because I just got up. So my mind just kind of like rambles a little bit. The lats come from under here and they go back and they attach to this and that. So this goes down like that to that point. Kind of like disappears. Same thing here. Where is my V for the bottom of the back? Lat comes down. This is here as well. This curves up into that. Goes across here and pushes on that love handle. And of course the head, which I'm forgetting. So the head is going to come around, down, and depending on your angle, you're going to see some chin and comes around. Because you see that rest of that neck here, all that neck is here, because this is just the back of that neck. Let's get some good lines. You have the center piece, you have a small piece here and a small piece here that goes to the shoulder. So this is going to be your neck up in here. Then you're going to see the bottom of your chin, the back of that cranium curves around, and maybe some brow here, maybe nose, maybe not. But just know these little muscles come up here, and this is your trapezoids. It goes into your shoulder. All this triangle piece is your trap. So if you want to get big shoulders, it's really not these, it's this part right here. It's all that. How do you do that? Shoulder shrugs. What's a shoulder shrug? Look it up on YouTube. Shoulder shrug. And your ear is going to be here. So, last one. Get your hands. And that's going to be, you're going to come, either you come straight down or out just a little bit. You have this curve here to there. So you want to go down, curve to here to there. And since this is the back of your hand, the fat part of the curve is going to be, I can't flip my hand around like that. The fat part is going to be back here. So you're going to see this little separation here, and then you're going to have that fat part there. So this, what you just did was the fat part of the palm. So you're going to have that separation from the little part here. And of course, you have your thumb here somewhere coming off of that. And so the hardest part is doing the fingers, however you do the fingers. So you know that that is a, let's see if I can do this. So I can do this. It's a box like this, this piece. So you're still going to have some of this showing, and then you connect your fingers, which is, remember, it's at an angle, and then just kind of bend it. Do that shape first, and then you can throw some fingers in there somehow, some way. And I think that's probably why they tell you to do the mitten when you're young. You do a mitten, and then you can still do that, do the mitten, and then do the little piece for the thumb. So it's going to go down like this. It's going to have it straight and then curve like that. Cut that off, come out, cut that off again, and then do this, and then you have your hand. A quick way to do a hand. A hand is like you have to do a major study for hands. Just take a couple days and just draw hands. Several pages in your sketchbook, just draw hands. Because the longer I get away from hands, the harder it is for me to get back into doing hands. It's just like if I'm doing men, you know, just for months at a time, just doing men. If I'm doing my comic book and there's not a female character, I'm just doing men. It's kind of hard to kind of get back into doing a female. So you're going to have to kind of do all of them. Even if you stop doing one and just do something else, you have to do that. And that's a goofy looking hand because I have no palm. This, where is the piece, Brian? There's my palm, there's my thumb. There's this hand, which is going to cover up the other fingers. It's going to be in front of the other fingers. Palm is here. Goes down into that meaty part. Just the thumb. That, and then you have your hands. You either love them or you hate them. And there are times when I hate doing hands, but it's something that you have to do eventually. It's like perspective. This is glaring on me so bad. You guys can see that, but I can't see that. To save time, I'm just going to ink it in the wash. Ink it in the wash, Brian. All right, get that out of the way. Buttocks, we already have that from the last video. There is a little gap between there. Of course it is, depending on how wide your legs are spread apart. The line comes here. And these are just ovals. I don't want them too far apart. And then I will curve it just a little bit. Curve the whole thing. Not too much. This is where my knee is going to be. On the opposite side, of course. And then you have the calf. I want him to look like he's riding a horse. And where did I stop the ankle? Somewhere about, about right there. And then the back is just this. That are crooked because I draw crooked. I don't have my paper straight. I always draw from an angle, so my lines are always crooked. And then your foot, if it's straight, you would see, how would I draw that? Let me throw this foot in here. You'd see some of this and you would see some of that. So the foot, the foot being a triangle, if you start turning that triangle, like this, you're going to have this little part here. And if you turn it all the way around, you're going to see this here. And this is, if it was wide, it would be like that. You'd see some of this side. So if I did a top view, it would be kind of like this. Just imagine it being like that. If this is the front, color the front, I'm gonna color the front. It'll be like that. This will be his leg going into the foot. Because the foot it does widen, it's narrow and it widens out inside and widens out like that. So you would see like the wider points, and then you have your heel. So basically that's kind of what it is. You'd see the outside of the foot is wider, going out more than the inside of the foot. So this piece, this square piece would be shaped like this. You have your heel and then it comes up like that. And then there's this muscle, tendon, whatever it is, like that. And you have your leg, your ankle, like that. And you will see some of the outside of the foot, maybe a little bit of the inside, maybe. That is if your foot was straight on. Now, if it's turned out a little, because people don't stand like this. People stand kind of like this. And there's your leg socket. So it would tend to look like this for most people. You have that, this, your ankle, and then this foot would be out like that more. And then be the same way with the other foot. You have that, comes up, ankle, ankle, and then the foot would come out like this. So basically you're just drawing that triangle. Just remember to draw that triangle. Don't try to get, if you're new to drawing, don't worry too much about trying to get the hardcore shapes yet. You get those, I mean, that stuff comes later. But it's just, you know, getting the shape right, basically. And then, yeah, you go from there. And then what is the inside is higher, so the calf would be like this. Calf inside is higher. Calf muscles are like kind of like that. Curve up like that. And then you have, what do you have? I think you have muscles that come down from here. But see, I shouldn't be showing you the muscles, but I'm showing you the muscles. But yeah, just remember that triangle, this whole triangle thing. 33 minutes. I forgot to set my timer. So, no, it's not 33 minutes because I think the camera was running for about 5 minutes before I started, but I did restart the camera. So yes, it might be 33 minutes. So let's get this thing done. It's going to be more round on the outside, coming in, down on the knee, with that calf. And it's going to be almost, not going to say flat, but it's going to be more flatter on the inside. You have more curve on the outside than the inside. That knee comes in a little bit. You have it poking in a little bit, and then you have your calf, and then that, same thing. A more rounder on the outside because of this muscle, these muscles right here, which you can't see, these muscles right here, they come out, which these are crooked. Anyway, they come out, go in, your knee comes in like this. Then your calf comes around here, you have your bottom of your foot, and then I'm just going to put this more to the side and not see any of that side. And just erase this. As I said, that comes up here, your calves. Higher on the inside than the outside. Higher on the inside than the outside. Higher meaning this circle is higher than that circle. This is higher than that circle. It comes up here. And then I just put these little 2 lines in the back of your legs. Don't worry about that. Comes up there. And then as I said, there's this like this center muscle that branches out. And then there's like a piece here and a piece there, and it continues to go around, but I don't draw leg muscles. So that is going to be it for this turnaround. Where is the elbow? That line comes down here. So the inner, that's the outer part here. I don't think you see that when you turn that muscle, but you will see a little bit of muscle in here. When it goes to the thumb, this part curves around inside, it goes to the thumb anyway. Looking back at this, I'm going to ink this off camera, and if I have to correct some mistakes, I'll point it out. So at 35 minutes, let's go and get to inking. And here we have the finished product. Please don't dog me for my inking skills because it was a quick rough ink. So yeah, as I say, this is the finished product. And a couple things before I shut this video down is if you like it, give me a thumbs up. And then 2, YouTube uses an algorithm to determine if a video is good or not. 1 is by how many people give a thumbs up. So a lot of people have been writing and saying, oh, I have been searching YouTube for a long time and I haven't found anything as good as this, and this is good, and it taught me what I needed to know. So for you people like that, please thumbs up. And then tell a friend. I know if you're looking at this, you're an artist, you probably have artist friends. Go back and tell your artist friends to watch it, because that's the 2 things that they look at to determine if a video is good or not. How many thumbs up you got and how long you watch it. Now if you click on my video and you watch the 2 minutes at the beginning and click to the very end, then they're going to say, oh, that's not a good video. So when you turn on YouTube and you see all those videos that up right off the bat, they show you right off the bat, those are the ones that are higher in ratings. So help me to grow. Click the thumbs up, which is, how long is that going to take? And then, if you watch the whole video, thank you. And then just tell a friend, tell a couple friends, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to help my channel grow. So enough begging and pleading. I'm going to end this video and I'm going to start the female turnaround, and it's not going to be as much muscle because women don't have that much muscle or definition. They're just toned. So yeah, don't be mad, girls. All right, so that's going to be it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep drawing.